Hey guys, Ryan Rose coming at you with another Habits of a Horseman video. Today we're going to be talking about putting your horse's head down on a circle in the saddle. So last week I did a video showing it on the ground. Now we're going to progress it in the saddle. Let me explain why you would want to do this in the saddle. So a couple of reasons. Fundamentally, from a safety standpoint, your horse will be calmer when they think about lowering their head. When the head is low, usually 90% of the time they're in a relaxed state of mind. Once in a while you can get a horse that I know there's going to be somebody on here that says, oh, my horse goes catatonic, and then they put their head down. That's true. Some horses can get really bothered, and then they kind of bury their head down. But that's kind of the exception to the rule. That's not really the rule. There's a general rule. When your horse's head is down, they're pretty relaxed. So we're going to talk about that. So I want to teach them a cue before I get into trouble, meaning before they spook or before something happens that is out of my control. I want to teach them a relax button. Okay, for me, you can see my horse kind of is pretty good at this. So she's a pretty tense, snorty kind of horse, and I spent a lot of time helping her to be more emotionally balanced and calm. So she's had a lot of practice at this stuff because she's pretty, she would be pretty snorty kind of horse if I didn't do all this with her. So my cue is I just start lifting up my reins like this. And if her head comes up like it is right there, now I'm going to recruit my legs. So now I'm adding in my legs, head goes down, all the cues go away. So again, it starts with lifting my hand, and then my legs come on, slowly, more, down. Hand comes up, oh, there it is. Hand comes up, head starts to go down, legs come on, there. And I'm not looking for her to flex her head. She thinks there we go. She's kind of thinking about that from that bosal on there a little bit. Again, you can do this with a bosal, with a snaffle, with a bridle, whatever you want. But essentially, you need to know that if your horse isn't putting their head down, you need to bring your legs on more and just hold with your hands, not try to lift up higher with your hands. This is just the cue, okay? The pressure coming on is from your legs, all right? Now, the next piece of this, and I'm just going to mention this quickly, if your horse spooks at something, you're not just going to say, put your head down. If they spook at something, your first move needs to be to go to their hindquarters and bend their ribs and get them to think to you as the leader. If they're spooking, that means they're not thinking about you, they're thinking about whatever they spooked at. So you got to get their attention on you, and you got to do that with as much intensity as you need to get their attention on you, and then you need to press the relax button and say, hey, settle. I'm in charge here, I got this, we don't need to spook at the grasshopper. Okay, you guys get the idea. Now, once you have this going pretty well at a standstill, I want you to progress it to riding forward on a circle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I can use my inside leg and create a little bend through the ribs. And then when the head goes up, I'm going to lift up on that inside rein as my cue. So I'm just going to kind of put her in a little bit of a situation there and lower my hand down. Exactly what I was trying to do on the ground. It's just now it's in the saddle and I'm using the cues that I have available to me in the saddle. Same game though. Inside leg creates the bend in the ribs, helps the horse relax. Lifting up on that inside rein when the head thinks about going down. I'm going to lower my hand down. Trying to get her to commit to it a little bit more. There it is. Very good. So you're going to want to spend a lot of time doing this at walk and trot. Okay? So it's going to jog around here. If the head goes up kind of above the withers, that's when you're going to see me bring this hand up right away and say, hey, could you lower your hand down? So I'm steering with my legs and maybe a little bit of my outside rein. So if I pick up this rein and she thinks I said turn and she goes like this, well then I might need to bring in my outside rein or a little bit more inside leg to help keep her. There we go. There, she thought about dropping her head down. So for her, this is actually pretty good. It's a pretty cold, windy, snowy day up here in Wisconsin, and for her to be this quiet, kind of early on in the ride is pretty good for her. There we go. So we'll take that. So that's something that I'd love for you guys to get good at, getting your horse to put their head down, teach them to settle, teach them it when the conditions are ideal, so that when the conditions are not ideal, you have something to default back to. I appreciate you guys watching. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you get these videos whenever they come out, and make sure you check out Horseman's University is a video library with full videos, with several different contributors like myself that give you guys lots of videos and information and weekly challenges to do with your horse. It'll be a great way for you to stay accountable and get stuck into horsemanship for a good while. Right now you can use the promo code ROSEHorsemanship and get a 10% discount for a few months. So go and check out thehorseman'suniversity.com.